Pisces, welcome back to Steampunk Psyche. If you are a returning subscriber, you have my love. If you are brand new to the channel or just cross-watching for your particular sign, I am JT. Like I always say, sometimes these cards line out with us in our day-to-day grind. Sometimes they don't. Don't hate the reader. Just know that I'm trying to give you the best explanations of the cards as I see them, okay? All right, I'll give you the down low. We'll shuffle up and we'll get started. Do keep in mind that I always put your haiku poems right before your reading, okay? All right, I have already pre-shuffled the cards for Pisces, but I'm going to do this for transparency's sake. But in the process, I am wishing for you peace, love, stability, hope. My fellow Pisces, we are all about the love. Sometimes we have a tendency to wear our emotions way too close to our shoulder blades. And I hope that in this reading, we find some clarity. We hope that there is a opportunity for love to come in, to expand, that our desires are being met, that we are manifesting the things in our life that we really, really want, okay? All right, we're going to talk about these categories here. We're going to have the present energy, the crossing challenge. We have the self, the recent past. We have the possibilities, the near future. Pisces is already showing up in this reading. Cool. We have the self, the environment, the hopes, fears, wishes, or worries. Nice. The outcome and the direction. All right, Pisces, while I'm taking a look at these cards, I have your brand new poems from Haiku Corner. I'll be right back. Okay, Pisces, we start off your reading with the Four of Swords energy. We're going to talk about this. For some of you, this could be a repeat of last week's video. If you have not checked that out, go into the playlist and check it out. Actually, I'm going to leave that video at the end of this one, okay? But yeah, I feel like somebody's pulled back their energy. This is all about that emotional exhaustion from a situation, but it's coming to an end here, okay? We're going to talk about this. If you're down for it, let's do it, all right? We've got this Four of Swords energy and the present energy, okay? We're talking about, like I said, I feel like some of you may be just coming out of an emotional situation, slowly but surely, okay? And this could look like that quiet recalibration phase, okay? It's not isolation. It's just like the intentional distance. We do have the Hanged Man in this energy. We're going to talk about it, but it's like healing from someone who gave you mixed signals. The energy says one thing, the actual 3D is totally different. We all know what this is like, okay? But I feel like there is just I don't know, somebody kept you maybe on emotional standby, something like that. It doesn't have to apply, but just stay with me here. We're talking about perhaps you're not checking their social media as often anymore, okay? And so by doing this, it's kind of like their reaction now is they're going to start watching your shit, right? It's got a masculine energy here. I don't know, maybe they withdrew and now they're becoming the restless player here, okay? It's replaying those old messages. Or this could look like, the feminine energy. It's finally kind of like, I'm not giving into this no more. And hopefully the silence speaks louder than the actual text, right? Or the words, whatever it needs to be for you. But this is, sleeping more, getting some rest, pulling back. It's dreaming vividly. Some of you could be dreaming about elevators here. We're talking about This is emotional ascension, okay? Or staircases, something like that could be in your dreams. So kind of pay attention to the synchronicities. Hopefully you do keep some kind of a dream catalog, okay? That's really important. For others, this is, ignoring a text on purpose because, you're just tired of being the only one initiating, okay? Um, this is that past person that's stalking your activity, but not going to admit it to you, to your face. And I know this is not a way you want to hear this start off with, so like I always say, just take it with a damn grain of glitter. That's all this is about. This is about preparing for a major emotional conversation, and I don't think you realize it's coming, okay? All right, we're going to move on. We're going to talk about this crossing challenge, this 9 of Cups, right? It's the overindulgence of joy, if that is even effing possible, right? Okay, look, soft landing again, okay? We're talking about what you want is available, but I fear that I don't know, maybe your own disappointment is blocking the receiving of it, okay? It's coming, but it's the inconsistencies, that showed up. So it's got you kind of like afraid. It'll disappear once you start to trust it, okay? The feminine energy here is like afraid of being too much, or, maybe she hides her desires, the really true things you want to say, the true things you want to speak. Do keep in mind, I use these terms loosely, okay? If you are feminine watching, yes, you do have masculine energy, and it pops out at times when you don't really want it to. And if you're masculine, yes, we are in the feminine zone sometimes. I try to personally stay in the feminine zone. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying that in the feminine energy, there is decisiveness, okay? So this looks like someone may see you as their wish fulfilled, right? But feels a little unworthy, okay? So that could be in that masculine energy, right? So it's like you're manifesting love, but still checking the rearview mirror in this card, okay? It's that person from your past. They might reappear right when you start liking somebody new, or, it's afraid of the good things, right? You're afraid they'll turn bad. It's the, just waiting for the shoe to drop, right? Or the hammer to come down, but because it has before, right? And we've seen it. So for some of you, this looks like money opportunities showing up, and maybe you're a little hesitant to say yes. Some of you could have a side hustle, something like that going on. And so you're just kind of like, you were in that 4 of Swords. Maybe that is about a decision you're about to make here, okay? The synchronicities around this car are mirroring, okay? Some of you, when you sit at your mirror, you're putting that face on, you're putting that primp on, whatever it is you're doing, their image is going to appear. You're going to think about them in this mirror, okay? And that's kind of like that. It's reflecting, your need to see yourself clearly here, okay? That would be the synchronicity as to why you think about them or why that's coming up. Looking in your rearview mirror, to back out of the driveway, and all of a sudden the thought of them, you know what I'm saying? So just kind of pay attention, right? Okay, now we've got this in the foundation, this Queen of Pentacles energy. Excuse me, it is definitely allergy season. The pollen is popping. This is the stable emotional. It could be the financial base, like I just mentioned, right? For some of you, this is I'm becoming grounded. I'm grounding in the relationship category. I'm grounding in the stability. This could look like that masculine energy that it is admiring you for this particular reason. Okay, like I said, those are not gender specific. You could be in the masculine energy, looking upon this person who is coming into that Queen of Pentacles energy, which is talking about that stability, right? That nurturing aspect. They're seeing you kind of glow up, build up, or at least, I don't know, maybe perhaps you might be attracting in other partners, who want to invest, not drain you, but that is that kind of that, I don't know, it's nurturing yourself instead of trying to fix others kind of energy. Okay. So it's got, you're more selective with who is going to get access to you. You're kind of like that person who realizes that, you underestimated your own value here. Okay. So this is preparing for that, like maybe that financial breakthrough, that shift. Okay. For some of you, you might resonate with the spirit animal, the deer here. Okay. Deer sightings or that kind of imagery or something like that. It's kind of showing up as a synchronistic sign, as to say like gentleness returning into your life, right? The deer represents that gentleness, that peace, that calm. Okay. All right. We're going to talk about this recent past. Check it out. The Fool, right? This is taking a leap. This is emotional or romantic or financial, in any one of those categories. Okay. Something happened that it changed everything. Maybe you come to light about this situation. Maybe you realize that, hey, this person, I think we've got some kind of a soul contract. There's just something lingering in the background here, right? And it's opening up for something new. And for some of you, it may be after, a pretty long little spell, right? But the masculine energy here is like, took a risk at texting maybe first, or maybe you, I don't know, maybe you finally said something really bold or honest, right? Like I said, not gender specific, just what role you played in that recent past. So maybe for some of you, it's like, I walked away from a situation, maybe a situationship that didn't feel like it was growing or doing anything. And it could look like, as simple as like started a brand new job or some kind of creative endeavor there, right? You blocked someone who kept you in limbo. But on the other hand, you flirted with someone unexpectedly, right? And perhaps this is the person that they haven't forgotten it. Okay. For some of you, it could look like, from some songs from the past, right? Little blast from the past here, right? This is the person that you're in the stoplight sweating your ass off, and they come up and the damn, the license plates rattling all over the place, and they're throwing up these songs, right? This could remind you of that person. There's something in that song, you're looking over going, what in the hell are you so happy about? Now you find yourself tapping to it. You're shaking your head, looking around, making sure nobody's looking, right? Because I don't know, it just got that leap. It's got that realizing, I'm braver than what I thought I was, right? And so there's something about this that it's got that choice that kind of just frees you emotionally. There's something letting loose here, definitely letting loose, okay? All right, we're going to look at this possibilities. And we got this 3 of Pentacles energy, collaboration, coming together. This looks like the reunion. The energy is celebration. It's some kind of a reconnection, emotional support. This is definitely, this could be talking about, like I said, that a third party situation external of you that is, willing to collaborate, like on that, for some of you, if you've got side hustles, or, even like, collaborating with Facebook page, or with, YouTube channel, whatever this is, whatever you're into, I feel like there is definitely this collaboration. I want to work with you. It could look like the masculine energy who wants to maybe make something right with you again. Or we could be talking about maybe that feminine energy, that's, I don't know, I'm ready to open up again. Just kind of, like I said, just take what fits there. But it could look maybe as simple as just getting invited to like an outdoor event or a concert. We are pushing into the summer time. So, but this could be also maybe like that friend confessing, I've always had feelings for you. And then you get into that, it's that deeper emotional conversation that you've been waiting on. Okay. I don't know, a celebration leading to some kind of a romantic moment here or something, but this is definitely entering into that season of joy. Okay. It's not survival here. It's collaboration. So there's definitely in this possibilities, this opportunity to come up here. And I'm thinking, we're talking like within maybe 3 to 6 weeks from now. Okay. We could be talking about maybe Gemini season, the end of Taurus season, the beginning of Gemini season. So anytime between, late April to early May, maybe pushing right into the Gemini season here. It doesn't have to apply, but those might be significant dates. So let me know in the comments if something like that, something like that comes up. Let us know. It'd be really cool for the community to see. All right, now we're talking about the near future, and we've got the Hangman. There's an intentional hanging here. This is you pulling back. It's not a warning, okay? It's like clarity. I'm going to guide you through this. We're talking about, I am definitely, as a Pisces, affected by the moon phases. You know what I mean? It's like, I get downloads, and it's usually that waxing gibbous or the waning, you know what I'm saying, type of situation. You may actually, you may feel something like that as well. So, but anyway, this is the pause. It's going to bring some kind of a revelation. This is not rejection or anything like that. This is like somebody deliberately pulling back, to think, not to leave, but, so it could look like a masculine type of energy that's kind of maybe just processing maybe guilt or regret about something. Or if we're talking about the feminine energy, it would kind of look like maybe just this reevaluating moment, right? This, going through the emotional boundaries in their headspace and trying to figure out, what's going on here. Or this could even be that conversation that maybe gets delayed. But But I feel like I said a minute ago, it's like, but I feel like it's going to be deeper. Okay. There's going to be a little bit more that brings something out. Someone's true, intentions are coming out clearly here. So, a relationship shifting from, maybe fantasy, which is not a bad thing, right? Into, you know, 5D conversations at nighttime, now into 3D. The physical is probably about to manifest here. Okay. This could be like, this could have been like a money slowing down situation briefly, right before a breakthrough here. Okay. Um, I'm not stuck, I'm just aligning myself. Okay. So definitely some kind of a major decision is definitely possible after this pause. Okay. And like I said, some of you may resonate with the moon phases. So just kind of like, guide your timing here, guide your space, find out, it's easy to look up on the internet to find out what phase the moon is in. Those hard feelings when they come in, pay attention. And then when you start to get that clarity moment, pay attention to that as well. Okay. All right. We are talking about the Two of Wands now. Okay. Some of you could be seeing synchronicities around this card, this timing. We're talking about the self here. Numbers like 717, angel numbers or something. It's like, this is the next chapter of your life. It's got intention. Okay. That's what that's talking about. The very intentional, purposeful acts. Okay. This is a masculine energy, planning to approach you, or the feminine energy has got like, preparing to move, maybe travel, maybe shift those careers that I was talking about. Excuse me. Making that, you did see that hanged man. So it could have been, for some of you, that side hustle gig or something like that. You're just reevaluating, rethinking those types of things that are going to benefit, things that are not, whatever. So it's kind of got, it's got a touch of that, I'm ready for that relationship that matches my depth here, but it's also got, I want action. You know what I mean? So some of you just could be planning a trip, that this may end up changing your love life here. Okay. Or, like I said, it's stepping into that more confident version of yourself, here. You're looking out, maybe somebody is looking into you. Okay. And it's like, I got to level up. I'm feeling the pressure here in this card. Like I said, if 717 appears, when you're making this choice, let me know in the comments. I really want to know this. Okay. But this is, I'm done choosing comfort, over growth. Okay. I'm moving on. I'm stepping forward. Let's talk about this environment. It just wants to stick around. It's still nostalgic. It's deja vu for some of you. Pay attention, keep yourself a journal and write this stuff down. Someone from your past may be energetically, like back in your circle somehow. You may be dreaming about this person, thinking about this person. A soulmate, from a previous cycle of your life or a timeline. This could look like, the masculine energy reminiscing about old conversations, or, the feminine energy kind of like replaying the last moment. It's definitely got, I don't know, that childlike kind of memory, or maybe some old, excuse me, maybe some old photos or something like that might be resurfacing. For some of you, it could have been from like years ago, somebody, messaging you or something, but definitely got like deja vu for some reason. There may be I don't know, maybe a new person, some kind of, or just like that soul recognition. For some of you, this could just be happening. I'm just recognizing this person, but it's got that friend from the past, the perfect timing. Or I don't know, for some of you, like I said, if you're planning a trip, it could be like revisiting that old place. Okay. You can be thinking about that, and that nostalgic kind of memory is kind of rushing in and flooding memories here. Okay. But this is definitely healing nostalgia. It's not like drowning in it or something like that. Okay. All right. We're talking about the hopes, fears, wishes, or worries. We got the Ace of Cups. Okay. Some of you could be seeing like repeating initials of this person, but this is, I want new love, and perhaps you fear like losing yourself in this new love. Okay. It's, this is, I want that fresh start, with someone specific for some of you. For some of you, like I said, it could be that new person coming in, that soulmate energy you're feeling. The feminine energy here is all about emotional safety, and the masculine energy is, this is that confession we're talking about. Like I said, you could be in that masculine energy. You may be about to confess your feelings to somebody. So just like I said, I'm not going gender specific. It's just the energies that we're into. So this is, I want a love that feels like home, not chaos, right? So anyway, somebody with I got repeating initials here, like M and M, or a T T, or an S S. It's got that, it's just a repetitive over and over. You could be seeing this on like license plates, maybe, or on like a, billboard sign, some that 2 a.m. in the morning, ad for jewelry or something, it always comes on. But anyway, this is like, this is ready for intimacy, real intimacy here. Okay. That relationship that's going to grow with you, the, emotional renewal here. Okay. Now, on this outcome and the direction here, once again, it is you're protecting your peace, and someone fights for a place in your life here. This is what I'm getting at. Okay. It's like, this is the masculine energy who becomes assertive. Okay. It is the feminine energy setting the boundaries, commanding respect. Okay. I'm not accepting bare minimum effort. That past person that tries to re-enter, I don't know. You're having that decision on whether or not they've changed. Are they still the same? Are they still doing the same patterns over and over again? This is, defending your emotional progress here. Okay. It's like, that new love interest, it's proving themselves through action. Okay. This is choosing myself, and the love is going to follow. Okay. So anyway, I'm trying to get at this. It's like, Pisces, you're healing all these old patterns. It's reclaiming energy. It's the same energy, except I feel like someone from your past may be realizing, I don't know, that your absence is kind of hitting harder than maybe what they expected. Okay. Yeah, we could have been talking about your soulmate connection, or your person, right? That new love opportunity, something like that. But I feel like this is definitely focusing on like a new money opportunities, new love situation. Anyway, your intuition is definitely becoming razor sharp at this time. I ain't chasing. I'm going for what I want. My desires are going to be met here. Pisces is a good reading. It's beautiful. I'm not sure if it followed from last week or not. I'll leave that video at the end of this. You can check it out and see. But either way, it stands on its own. It's a really good reading. So anyway, show the reader some love. If you appreciated that reading, give it a thumbs up, would you? If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit your subscription button. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. Anyway, I love you. I respect you, Pisces. And I hope to see you on the next readings, okay? All right. Bye-bye.